What's up, guys? Welcome back to Smash It, the show that proves there is indeed a finite number of ways to talk about movies on the internet.
But good news, there's an infinite number of ways to waste money on plates.
Yeah, today we're talking about M. Night Shyamalan. Is he good? Will his plate be broken?
I don't know, but Joe, you know what the twist is?
This
plate is unbreakable.
Did you see what she did? Watch the show.
M. Night Shyamalan, is he a good director? That is a loaded question.
I think that M. Night Shyamalan is a very talented director with very destructive tendencies.
M. Night Shyamalan is a director who has made good movies, but I don't think that you can categorically say that the man behind The Happening is a good director.
I think you know exactly what you're getting when you go into an M. Night movie, in the fact that you don't know anything that you're getting.
It's somewhere right in the middle because you are taking a Kobe beef fillet on a piece of dog turd and eating it, and it's like, yeah, the dog turd is really what you're gonna remember, but you can't deny that there's some great stuff in there too.
So much of the talk about Sixth Sense was about the twist. The twist, the twist, the twist, the twist.
Spoilers, a ghost. Bruce Willis is dead.
I remember the first time I watched The Sixth Sense, it rocked my whole world. Like my entire world and my movie-going experience.
There's only a few times in the movie cinema history where I felt a whole audience gasp at once. It happened when the T-Rex first showed up in Jurassic Park, and it happened in Sixth Sense when you found out he was a ghost.
It was the best twist ever, and I know people look back and they say, oh, I called it. You didn't call it when you first saw that movie. You had no idea, and it blew your mind.
To lead you down one path for so long and have you think you know what's up, and then you know nothing.
Well, wait, no, that can't be true because the mom talked to Bruce Willis in that one scene, and then you go back and you watch it again. It's like, no, she didn't. They were sitting across from each other, and your brain is trained to tell you to fill in that gap. You just shot it like that, and you assumed that.
It just dramatically worked in that moment, and I think that's why you can still rewatch The Sixth Sense, even knowing what you know.
And the fact that it holds up, you don't feel tricked necessarily. You feel like Shyamalan, like he put a spell on you.
I see dead people.
I See Dead People. That is one of the most iconic moments of all time. With Haley Joel, I mean.
A lot of these like child actors, they wind up falling off, but he's still really, really good.
If he still looked like he was 9, that'd be weird. The only person that still looks like they're 9 is Elijah Wood.
Wrong.
That's Donnie Wahlberg. I watched the movie, I didn't realize it was him until someone told me later. Then the movie became about Donnie Wahlberg being all cracked out in the beginning. I didn't care about the twist. I'm gonna stab you, I'm Donnie Wahlberg. Oh.
Unbreakable is a really slow movie that's worth it.
From every standpoint, Unbreakable might be, for my money, his best movie.
Unbreakable is about a character who has abilities that he cannot understand and doesn't know how to handle.
He was able to make a genre movie without telling you that it is a genre movie. You don't know what it is until it's the end.
Great movie. The tone, the pacing, the atmosphere. It's one of the last movies I remember Bruce Willis carrying in.
I think it's a great Bruce Willis performance. I think it's a great Samuel L. Jackson performance.
Samuel L. Jackson sort of pushes him to become this hero as he himself becomes the villain.
A person put here to protect the rest of us.
It's kind of this classic comic book story wrapped up in this little family drama, and I think that's why it works so well.
You know, with Sixth Sense, M. Night Shyamalan came in so strong, and Unbreakable, you're like, maybe there's a twist.
He did it again. He fooled me again. You're looking the whole time for what the twist is in any M. Night movie. But it never is what I think. Mind blown.
Do you remember me ever getting sick?
That's a really tough part of the movie that he doesn't notice his entire life, that he's never been ill.
Are you telling me that you've never been to the Sizzler and you ate something weird and you your brains out all night? That wouldn't just pop up in your brain? You're lying. You've had food poisoning. I know you have.
For you to not notice for your whole life, I mean, come on.
David Dunn's superhero name should be Indestructo Man.
He should have been called Unbreakable, the Unbreakable Man. But then again, then he's competing with Kimmy Schmidt.
Oh, Raincoat? That's kind of works.
I think the most obvious name would have to be the bench presser. I think anyone who can lift that many cans of paint, you got a built-in name right there.
Isn't his superhero name Unbreakable? Did I read that wrong? Or he's like security man or something?
The melancholy, because he's so sad in that whole movie. I'm super strong. Okay. I gotta go fight crime. Sure. Someone should hug him.
I don't really remember much about it except there was something about a farm and aliens and Mel Gibson pretending to be a good father.
All I can tell you is that something about a crop field and water bottles, or water cups. Cups of water. Cups and crops. Cups and crops.
From a technical standpoint, I think that Signs is his best made movie. I think that he just was so good at staging and suspense and atmosphere and effective scares, but there's also some of that bad stuff in there.
It lacks a couple of big things, like major laser gunfights and Randy Quaid in a crop duster.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
There's barely any aliens. One of them could barely open a door.
It's a whole lot of, ooh, look at this is creepy. This little girl never finishes glasses of water. That's creepy.
There's a monster outside my room. Can I have a glass of water?
For like an alien invasion movie, it's like really boring. It's just like them in like a living room.
Yeah, this is when the wheels started to fall off. But not until the end of that movie. I was with it till then.
Swing away, Murrell.
Every time that we make a sci-fi movie about an alien invasion, we assume that the aliens are A, aggressive, and B, smarter than us. I think Signs took the other way and they're like, what if they were dumber and they came to a planet they were completely allergic to? What would happen?
Those aliens are morons. That was real dumb.
It's a clerical error. It happens.
It's like if we went, where we should settle, a planet made of like 97% battery acid. Like, let's just do that.
Why are the aliens naked in Signs? I mean, that's a good question. If they hate water so much, they should be wearing something.
The question is, why aren't we naked?
Because it is such a weird thing that we decided to start wearing clothing.
Well, maybe the thing getting in the way of our own space travel is shame in our own bodies. And that's the thing we have to overcome to explore the stars, is to explore ourselves.
This one was seriously like a horror film, right?
I don't remember a lot about the village. I think it's like a group of Amish people and there's some monster that keeps them staying in the Amish community or something like that.
Oh, the village was so dumb and I wanted it to be good and it was really, really interesting. But then here comes the twist.
The twists in the village come at you like a kind of like a Mike Tyson's Punch Out, A, B, A, B.
This is the curse of the M. Night Shyamalan twist, where he was like, oh, I'm expected to have twists, because the village is like a really kind of okay, creepy movie, and then the twist ruins it. There's a truck and you're in modern day.
Oh no, they're in the modern world. Oh no, it's a freeway. I don't care, M. Night Shyamalan. I don't.
What would I do if I was raising my family in the village?
I would tell them I'm a god. What else are you gonna have an opportunity like that?
Everything would be a disco. Life would be a party. The 100% main goal would be, how can we have fun today?
I would tell them that on the other side of the forest, there's only like chain restaurants and alt comedy stand-up shows.
Outside of the wonderful gates of the village, it's just all like spiders, man. So only mommies can leave the village because the spiders will be nice to me, but they won't know that you're my kids, and so they will eat your faces off. This is why I don't have children.
If I have a kid, I want to make sure that that kid never knows that the Happy Birthday song exists, so that then when they're finally in a situation where the Happy Birthday song is going to get sung, my kid just like loses their what? Like, oh God, I'm going to be such a good father.
I didn't see Lady in the Water, though. I'm assuming that was a well-received movie.
I kind of think Lady in the Water is his worst movie.
It was like he was rapping to the world with that movie about his pain.
He casts himself as a writer who writes something so incredible that it will inspire a future president of the United States to save the world.
Your book will be the seeds of many of his great thoughts.
He's the best, most underrated writer ever, but he's got to hang out with this hot redhead because she's his muse. Yeah, if you want to hang out with Bryce Dallas Howard, just ask her out for coffee, dude. Don't write a whole movie about how like you're the best thing going and you need her to work, creepo.
All I remember is Paul Giamatti lives in a complex with a pool. Wasn't there a mermaid of some sort? That's the lady in the water. It was the mermaid.
There were snarfs? Snarfs? Is that close?
What were they, like the snuffle hoses and like the snooze nasties?
Wasn't there like a grunt? Something that kind of sounded like the C word that I was like, interesting choice.
Narfs? Narfs and scrunts?
A scrunt will do anything to kill a Madame Narf.
I don't want to talk about Lady in the Water anymore. A scrunt.
I saw it once. I'll never watch it again. It's garbage.
I love The Happening because it is so god awful.
What's happening in The Happening? I think it's supposed to be that the Earth gets mad at us and starts killing people with wind.
You can't see wind. You can hear it. That's not scary.
The dumbest twist ever is definitely the plants at the end of The Happening. You have shat on nature long enough and now you are going to be punished for it. Is that roughly it?
Could this really be happening?
Mark Wahlberg's performance in The Happening is perpetually shocked. Huh? Hot dogs?
You like hot dogs, right?
Mark Wahlberg is capable of being a really good actor. I don't know if M. Night's direction to him was say every sentence as if it were a question.
The toxin? The toxin is affecting them?
Are you asking me that? Are you saying that?
He acts like a 3-year-old who stole a cookie from the cookie jar. He's like, what? Me? No.
What? No.
The best moment of that movie, though, is when Mark Wahlberg is like, oh, hey, Ficus. Hey, nothing to see here, man. And then he realizes that it's a plastic plant.
Plastic.
That's insanity.
And then Zooey Deschanel is just standing there. What's going on? Like, do you hear that noise? What's happening?
I think Zooey Deschanel is actually dead in that movie. Like, she was legally dead in all of her scenes.
M. Night will say that he was going for a B-picture feel on that movie. I call 100% bullshit. It is one of the most ineptly made movies, and I have seen it more than I have seen The Godfather.
I tried to watch this entire movie. It's one of only like 3 or 4 movies that I have walked out of. It was just painfully boring. I wish I could bend time and go back and not have paid for a ticket for this movie.
The Last Airbender holds the distinction of the only movie for honest trailers that I started watching and did not finish. I have since finished it, unfortunately.
Name one thing that went right with it. The title was spelled correctly. I don't know. It was atrocious on every level.
The animated series must have been way better than the movie for people to like it that much.
M. Night Shyamalan took a beautiful story from a wonderful animated series that had a lot of diversity and different cultures and went, let's make a movie with a bunch of white people, shall we?
And you just pooed it out on screen.
It is a Miyazaki, Asian culture inspired world, and to put a white kid that you literally put through a tanning bed to like, ugh.
You just absolutely destroyed it. You really did.
According to M. Night Shyamalan, all bending takes like 3,000 years. Someone with a sword will just cut your face off before you ever get one tornado to knock them out of the way.
And you ripped out its neck and you just, you like ate it and you just shot it out and that was your movie.
This movie hurts my soul. Why does it exist?
It's not After Earth, by the way. It's still Earth. If it was After Earth, there would be no Earth. It should just be called On Earth.
I watched half After Earth and I turned it off and I have no desire to ever finish it.
I'm gonna put this one on L. Ron Hubbard because this is clearly some like sci-fi level 9 Xenu photon thing.
Will Smith is in it with his son, and this is kind of the start of Will getting too involved in Jaden's life, and Will Smith was just no fun in this movie.
The fact, again, Shyamalan took the most charismatic person in the history of movies and made him basically a robot. How do you make the Fresh Prince not cool?
What's the monster? Well, I want to play a badass warrior who doesn't fear anything. So the monster should be a blind monster who smells fear. How does that even work? I guess, could Daredevil smell fear? I guess. Those things in Justice League could smell fear. What if this is one universe? What if that nightmare sequence from Batman v Superman was on After Earth? The screenplay was terrible.
My suit's turned black. I like it, but I think it's something bad.
That's not all Shyamalan, and that's not all Jaden. Someone else shares that, the brunt of that.
I mean, even if I were related to Jaden Smith, I'd probably want to keep my distance, just in general. That was mean. I'm sure he's a good kid.
The Visit is absolutely sort of the first step on M. Night's little path to redemption.
Maybe we are grading things a little bit on the M. Night curve.
If I'd seen this movie just by itself, I'd be like, yeah, it's fine. But as an M. Night Shyamalan movie, I was like, oh, this is pretty good.
They cut his budget. He had to get kind of creative again. He had to go to his roots again.
I think this movie is potentially the most disturbing Shyamalan film. Just the idea of going to grandma's house and it being like this murder weekend, it's a cool concept, and I think he did adequate with it.
That movie made me question creepy small children as like the scariest thing and replace it with creepy old people.
Would you mind getting inside the oven?
That's kind of a cool little twist there.
You kind of saw it coming. At least it was still interesting to the point where I was like, it could go a bunch of different ways. And honestly, it was a found footage. It was kind of cool to see him try a different method.
The best of Shyamalan was like the atmosphere and the creepiness and setting up the menace of everything. And then like the worst with like the acting and some of the lines and the writing. Like he's got a weird ear for dialogue. It's like he put him into a random word generator. It sounds like a human could say those things, but no human would say those things. I hope that Split is the sign that M. Night is coming back.
Split's not like a good movie, but it's a fun movie and it's an enjoyable movie. It's not winning any Oscars. Let James McAvoy have fun. He looked like he was having the time of his life.
And it's a pretty good little movie with a really great performance.
Someone's coming for you, and you're not gonna like it.
I know that there is a sentiment amongst some in this world that James McAvoy was overrated in Split.
James McAvoy showed a lot of range the way like impressionists show a lot of range. Like he could do impressions of a lot of different voices.
My name is Barry. My name is Jade.
As in 10:08.
You shouldn't have used the walkie-talkie.
Everybody just take a minute.
Yeah, it was a little gimmicky.
It's not like he's doing these multiple deep, complex characters. He's just wearing different sweaters and doing different voices.
To which I say, you try it.
I'm a little boy. Oh, but now I'm a creepy old British woman. And now I'm an old man who has his throat is very thick and I'm just going to claw at you. Oh, don't claw at him. Why are we all clawing at each other? That's James McAvoy in Split.
My favorite personality was probably when he became the woman, because he had a really good turtleneck. And I thought that added a lot to the character.
Kind of like the Beast.
Grandma McAvoy, Grand McAvoy.
I really liked the old lady, James McAvoy. It was stupid and silly at first, but then I kind of bought into it.
The kid was kind of fun and funny.
I'll give it to James McAvoy for that creepy little kid dance. That was a weird, weird dance.
Obviously the big bad was super scary, but like I kind of like that. I'm gonna brush my fingers through your hair. I don't know. It was like, ugh, that would be the one that would get out of there.
Apparently he had like 27 different personalities. I think we saw 4 of them. Where's the rest of those guys? Are they saving it for the sequel?
It was this kind of movie that you didn't really know you were watching until the end.
Yeah, I thought the movie was okay. And then it had that amazing twist ending where you get to see Bruce Willis in a coffee shop.
Mr. Glass.
And you're like, oh crap, it's Unbreakable.
A great M. Night twist. That was a really good twist. And for the first time, I can say without reservations, I'm really excited to see M. Night Shyamalan's next movie.
So, Does M. Night make it to the hutch?
What? No!
Hey, Night, I enjoyed your movie.
In the water! Thank you! Screw you, critics! You don't like my movie? My plate's coming back at your face!
I've never been more scared in my life. Bye.